just can't keep up with. And they say challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. PAT up and good by Rosas. So how about that for an intriguing start? The opening kickoff of the ball game, return for a touchdown. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The AFC heading out on offense, and leading him is number 15 from the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, in his first ever Pro Bowl.
Get your tux, get your best suit. Let's head to the red carpet. NFL Honors is coming up, and he will be the heavy favorite to be the NFL MVP. And let's face it, we'll see him here at the Pro Bowl many times to come in future years.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Here's Conner. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. Time for a check of the starting offensive unit here for the AFC.
It's not often we start a game talking about an offensive lineman, but with Quentin Nelson, I absolutely have to do that. The rookie out of Notre Dame transformed not only an offensive line in 2018, he transformed an offense. In fact, he was the only guard ever named Rookie of the Month, and he did so in October of last year.
And that'll be incomplete. It was the veteran safety Malcolm Jenkins who got a hand in there to disrupt it. A look at the starters defensively now for the NFC.
Playing in his 11th season in the NFL is defensive back Malcolm Jenkins, who entered with the New Orleans Saints as a cornerback before shifting back to safety, where he's had his best years. Terrific football IQ, tremendous tackler, can also guard receivers in the slot.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Working from the gun, Mahomes. He is going to find Hill here. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 24 yards. For Patrick Mahomes, what a season he had. First as a full-time starter, and he goes over 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns, and rewarded with his first Pro Bowl.
And think about if you're in Kansas City, the organization, the team, the city, how well are you set up for future years with that youngster as your quarterback? Not only are the guys on the team excited about it, think about free agents, thinking about where they might want to play. If you're a free agent receiver, you're thinking Kansas City.
The Panthers' Luke Kuechly there on the tackle.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times, will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish, holding that to a minimal gain?
Needed more than 3, but that's all they got. And it's 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And it bangs off the left upright and deflects away. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So plenty of leg, but it's the accuracy there that lets him down.
Yeah, he hit it really well. I think this might have been good from 55. But you'll see it just conk off that upright, and they're denied a chance at 3 points.
And right away, he lost the football. And that's picked up by the AFC. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. And, partner, I know hindsight's always 20/20, but, man, just in general, those laterals, they can be so risky, and we see the risk that can be involved right there.
And you just have to know, and we've seen it because we've been at a lot of practices. It's not something that's practiced very often. You know, in that situation, you don't see guys really working on it. Maybe like we're bringing the rugby guys in to help us with tackling. Maybe we ask them to help us with the laterals as well and make that a better play. And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. So on is Jason Myers. He's hit from as long as 58 in his career. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. Two sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And he's got this down to the 35. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Brees going to throw. Lets it fly for Thielen. And this one is incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And that'll bring up second down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete.
Yeah. And this is caught inside the 5. And all the way in for the touchdown. Julio Jones. 35 yards. And the NFC adds on to their lead. Now, he's tough to contain as it is, but in man coverage with a pretty deep pass downfield, really tough to contain.
And it's so difficult because every play you've got to consider he might try and run past you. So your goal as a defensive back is to give him plenty of cushion, meaning lots of space between you and him. If he wants to catch the short stuff, come up and secure the tackle, hit him a bunch during the game, and try and keep him in front. But if you turn your head for a second, if your concentration wanes,
bye-bye.
He just takes off and goes, and I think that's what we just saw there.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. He'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Malcolm Jenkins of the Eagles in on the tackle. We mentioned the history of this game, the Pro Bowl. Of course, for many folks our age, the Pro Bowl always meant a trip to Hawaii. You know, they held it there from 80 till 09, and again for a handful of years in this decade before the last 3 being here in Orlando.
And there's something to be said, no doubt about it, for getting to go to Hawaii. Imagine being named a Pro Bowler and going home and telling your family, we're headed to Hawaii for a vacation. But think about going to Orlando, especially if you've got kids. All the theme parks, all the great things to do, plus not nearly as long a flight no matter where you come from in the United States. I think it's a big deal and a good thing to have it here in Orlando.
Now the NFC going to call the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. Tariq Cohen of the Bears back deep for the NFC. Fielded just inside the 30. And he's loose again. And put it on the board. It's 6, a touchdown. Tariq Cohen with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the NFC able to widen their advantage. Well, what a game for him. He hits for the return cycle, so to speak. He had the kick return. Now the harder part just got the punt return for a touchdown.
And I would imagine that the special teams coach As the ball left the punter's foot, he was thinking, should have kicked away from him.
Yeah.
Should have kicked away from him. He's in a groove, and sometimes you hit those grooves or those zones in a game, and he's in one now. He's in perfect sync with his teammates blocking, and he knows how to find the end zone.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. You look back a few years ago, Charles, when the Pro Bowl did that 3-year experimentation. I know you're a traditionalist. You like AFC versus NFC.
Yes, I do.
But for the games 2014, 15, and 16, they tried something a little different. They held essentially a fantasy draft for players. Year 1, it was Jerry Rice, Deion Sanders as captains. Year 2, Michael Irvin and Chris Carter. And then in year 3, Michael Irvin again matching up against Jerry Rice.
And one common denominator, every single one of those guys with a gold jacket, all of them in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So they didn't ask you and I to be the captains and make the picks. And by the way, the playmaker, Michael Irvin, went 2-0. And you know I heard all about that.
Mahomes firing complete. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a third down. Mahomes going to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Here's Brett Kern now. Remember, his first attempt was returned for a touchdown. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20.
Ready. Yellow lady, yellow lady.
On first down, Breeze looking deep for Julio. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown! Julio Jones. An 80-yard touchdown. And the NFC adds on to their lead. That's what we want right there, CD. It's a Pro Bowl. Give us some of these long touchdowns.
We want plays that cover a lot of ground. We want long-distance plays, whether long-distance runs, long-distance passes. It doesn't matter. In the Pro Bowl, big plays are what we're all looking for.
Rosas good with the extra point. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. It's Connor as they stay on the ground. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. The Panthers' Luke Kuechly there on the tackle. So we've reached halftime of the 2019 Pro Bowl with the NFC on top.
The NFC looking to rewrite a little history as they lead this 2019 Pro Bowl at the break. Now remember, they've lost both of the previous Pro Bowls played here in Orlando, but maybe.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
First catch on that one for Kelsey, and it's a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Alex Conner. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The longtime Cardinal Patrick Peterson in on the tackle. When you think about the history of this Pro Bowl game, there was an all-star game going all the way back to 1939, but it officially became called the Pro Bowl in, I think, 1951.
You're exactly right. And that game was played out in L.A. in the same stadium where the L.A. Rams currently play. And back then they split it into conferences, the American Conference versus the National Conference. The American Conference won 28-27. MVP of the game, quarterback Otto Graham, nickname Automatic.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block him and keep him from disrupting your offense.
No, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And the NFC will take over 1st and 10. Breeze and the NFC come up now with a 1st and 10 at their own 43. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. Oh, breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And he is in. Touchdown NFC. Todd Gurley, 48 yards. And the NFC stretching that lead out even a bit further. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
PAT up and good by Rosas. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Yellow.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Gordon. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And it looks like the NFC's going to have it, and they do.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out.
Ready? 5-9.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Breeze. And Jones has it over the middle. Oh, and he will score. Touchdown NFC. Julio Jones. 37 yards. And the NFC able to capitalize on that fumble recovery and turn it into 6. Great play, but admittedly, the tackling in the Pro Bowl, Charles, not always the best.
I would say that they're not quite as committed to getting a guy on the ground in the Pro Bowl as maybe during the regular season and, of course, in the playoffs. But still, heck of an individual effort there on that run.
Rosas good with the extra point. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Caught left side, Hopkins. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. Buying time to his left. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Mahomes can sling it, but the feet are nimble too as he scrambles for a 1st down.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, 2nd half, no quit in him.
0.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Time for a break. This one all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. On 1st down, Mahomes. Throw left side complete. That's Gordon. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Mahomes now on 1st down, and that's incomplete.
It's now 2nd and 10 at the 30-yard line.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's Mahomes again. And complete right side to Cook. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down. Now here's Mahomes. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Incomplete on the throwaway. He was defended by Patrick Peterson.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. And again, it's Mahomes. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And it's scooped up by the NFC. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0.
Ready. You ready?
Bree's going to throw here. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And that's caught inside the 35. finding Thomas. An even 50 yards. For Drew Brees, this his 12th Pro Bowl nomination, though he hasn't played all 12 years, but still, what a career and what a season. And to do it at this age, unbelievable.
Not too bad for a guy who turned 40 the week leading up to the NFC Championship game. He keeps himself in such superb physical condition and still loves everything that goes along with football. He may play till he's 60.
And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. His big game continues. Already has the 3 touchdown grabs, tacking on some more yardage and a first down.
And how precise has his route running been in this game? We just saw him get open yet again, and he's also made adjustments as the defense is trying.
And this will be caught, and the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Roses to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Mahomes now on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And he finds his Chiefs teammate, Travis Kelce. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pick up there of 20 yards. So, Charles, a victory for the NFC. Final thoughts on this Pro Bowl?
We had some fun, didn't we?
Absolutely.
A lot of excitement, some big plays to watch, a lot of those great matchups that we don't get to see during the regular season because sometimes teams don't play against each other. And, oh, by the way, no one got hurt. There's the win for everyone. I think the fans enjoyed this one.
Welcome to Madden NFL 20. Here you can try the all-new QB1 face of the franchise or enjoy classic Madden with Madden Ultimate Team franchise or a quick pickup game in exhibition.
generation, I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece, that mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted.